With each passing day in Hypixel Skyblock, the end update seems to be getting larger and larger. Not only have we received the release date for this next major piece of content, but some major nerfs have been announced to come along with it. My name is Derailious and welcome back to Skyblock News. But before we get into any of that, I want to say thank you guys for all the support, as it really does mean a ton, and I really recommend checking out my Discord linked down below. Not only do we do giveaways around there, but you can also keep up to date with pretty much all Skyblock news. Without any further ado though, let's get right into the video. Starting off, we have a brand new picture directly from Minion, which was sent into the Cowshed Discord, and as you can see, it shows an Enderman pet, which is now Mythic Rarity. As well as this, it has a new skin on it, which I think looks pretty good. On top of this, in the background, you can actually see the Vorpal Enderman minion, which is very likely going to be the equivalent of the Tarantula and Revenant minions that we currently have. This looks pretty cool overall. The fact that we're getting another Enderman type minion is pretty nice, and I'm just wondering what the drops of this Enderman will be. We'll just have to wait and see about that one, as the update is fast approaching. Speaking of the release date for this update, it's quite obvious that we have received a ton of information about it so far, more so than pretty much every other Skyblock update beforehand, and we have finally received a release date. As you can see here, Minion states that the update will be coming out in October. Now, it's quite obvious that it probably won't be in 2021 October. Let's be real here, updates take a while, but I don't think they take that long. What I'm thinking is that it's coming out in-game in October, which will be in about 2 days IRL time, so expect an update within the next few days. This is pretty cool, especially considering how much we've been teased so far. Seeing a lot of this stuff actually coming out now is pretty great, and I'm really excited to get my hands on a bunch of the new items. On top of this, we've got some new leaks. As you can see on screen now, there's some new skins that were shown off. None of them seem too special, they're more just like runes and things of that nature, but they go to show that this update is pretty large. Moving on to our next major piece of information, Minion has just announced on the Hypixel forums that in the next Skyblock update, they will be applying nerfs to 2 game components which have been in the game since its inception. These 2 components are Strength and the Aiming Enchant, which, by the way, the Aiming Enchant is getting removed. Strength will no longer provide 20% of its value as base weapon damage. After this point, Minion goes into more detail about the damage formulas, and essentially, it will no longer multiply your damage twice, only once. This will be a huge hit to endgame players, because as Minion states, the multiplicative nature currently leads to a very large difference between low and mid-game players and top-end players. This makes it challenging to create new combat content for a vast range of players. And on top of this, the strength conversion and multiplicative features make it hard for players to gauge which weapon is stronger when looking at 2 different weapons. Honestly, this makes a lot of sense. When you look at things like the Flower of Truth and the Livid Dagger, both of them don't really seem comparable if you look at their stats specifically, but in reality they can do vastly different amounts of damage compared to what your strength has. So if you have a lot of strength, the Flower of Truth is significantly better, but if you don't, the Livid Dagger is better. That is the big problem here. It's very hard to balance these weapons around each other if you don't even know how much damage they're going to do with the stats you currently have. Removing the strength divided by 5 will help with both of these points. It's not a silver bullet, and it will nerf player damage for endgame players, but they do think it's a necessary step in the right direction to have a better game for everyone. Honestly, I'm a little bit skeptical about this change. Although I don't want to pass any judgments too quickly, and I do want to wait and see how it is when it comes out, this update has the potential to be either really good or really bad depending on how it's implemented and how much of a nerf it actually is. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Moving on to the next part of this, aiming will become Dragon Tracer and it will only work on dragons. The admins state that they believed aiming had become toxic in the game for at least 2 reasons. Number 1, players can basically kill every single monster in an area constantly at the expense of other players, and 2, it trivializes the point of ranged combat across the game, also known as you don't need to aim anymore. Everyone who had aiming on their bows will have it converted to Dragon Tracer automatically. They're using this in the lull in the meta, where Bone Meringue is the top non-mana ranged weapon to transition this enchant out of the game. On top of this, they show off another bow, the Juju Short Bow, which has 260 damage, 100 strength, 10% crit chance, and 35% crit damage. On top of this, it has the ability Instantly Shoots, which hits 3 mobs on impact. On top of this, it does have the ability to damage Enderman, which will be a massive hit to Enderman specifically, and will make Enderman Slayer likely a little bit easier from a range. At the moment, I'm a little bit skeptical, especially related to strength and the aiming removal. I don't necessarily think that this will pose as a massive improvement to the game, but I don't know if it'll actually be a major hindrance either. We'll just have to wait and see and hope that they can use this to further improve the game in the future, which seems to be their plan. At the end of the day though, my name is Derailious, thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Please make sure to like and subscribe down below if you are new, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.